Chapter 77, This Idiot. On the way back to Lin Chuxu's condo, she, who had been quiet the whole way, finally couldn't help but ask, "Dad, you insisted on having me marry Su Cheng in the first place, why do you suddenly want me to get a divorce and go back to England?" Lin Gairan sighed, "Chuxu, don't you know what Su Cheng wants by now?" "I do," Lin Chuxu replied. "Lin Gairan, he refused to walk the path I laid out for him, instead insisting on returning to this country. That means that his hatred towards his mom and her family has deepened after the death of his father. In the past, I underestimated his determination, and it also took me by surprise that he completely changed after returning to Huaxia. His strong perseverance makes me worried about the path he has chosen for his life." He then turned to look at his daughter. "He grew up, so I can't convince him to choose another path, but you're my daughter. I can't stand by and watch you get dragged into the business with his mother's family. Frankly speaking, in this country, the Ye family is really too powerful. There are many things I didn't tell Su Cheng because I'm afraid that it would kill his determination and fighting spirit. It was already fortunate that he was finally able to get rid of his inferiority complex and become mentally stronger, so I couldn't break news to him that could drive him back to feeling inferior. Originally, when he was determined to go back Huaxia, I insisted on you going back with him because I wanted you to keep an eye on him. But who knew that you guys would get into a cold war and stop talking to each other?" Lin Chuxu hesitated for a second, and then she immediately asked, "Then what do we now?" "Dad, he's also half your son, you should help him." Lin Gairan bitterly smiled. "I can't. The Ye family is incredibly powerful in Huaxia. In the past, if Brother Su and I had the power to go against the Ye family, then he wouldn't have become like a stray dog and be forced out of the country. The reason Brother Su entrusted us with Su Cheng since the boy was young was to keep him out of sight of the Ye family. So many years has passed, and the Ye family probably thinks that Su Cheng is already dead. As long as Su Cheng doesn't tell others that he's the son of Su Tianming, then the Ye family won't notice him at all, so he's safe for now. However, in the future, he will go against the Ye family, and you will be in grave danger if you are with him. So that's the reason you suddenly wanted me to get a divorce, right?" Lin Chux suddenly asked, a bit irritated. Her mom and dad didn't say anything, nor did they deny it. Lin Chuxu looked at the scenery passing by her car window, and she suddenly fell silent. After a long time, she stroked her long hair, her eyes a little moist. She didn't want her family to see this side of her, so she tilted her head towards the window and quietly said, "What is marriage?" Without waiting for an answer, she said to herself, "Whether the situation is good or bad, rich or poor, healthy or sick, happy or sad, both people will face everything together." "Sis," Lin Lei whispered as he patted Lin Chuxu on her shoulder. Lin Chuxu suddenly turned around and looked at them and said, "You think I don't know everything Su Cheng did for me since childhood? I know everything, and that's why I was willing to listen to Dad's order and marry Su Cheng even when he rejected the marriage. Why? Because he had been taking care of me for the past 20 years, so in the remaining days, I wanted to take care of him. The moment he is able to open his mouth and feel more confident, and be willing to like me, love me, or just talk to me, then I'm willing to go with him to wherever he wants to take me, no matter how unromantic those places might be. I'm really not asking for that much, but he never did any of that. I waited 3 years, he was in the army for 3 years and now he's out. I heard he failed to get into the division he dreamed of entering, so I just wanted to visit him a few times and check on him. In fact, I think we are making progress and we can really make it work, but now Dad, Mom, you are telling me to divorce him? Do you want me to just keep playing a disposable role in Su Cheng's life? Someone that's just all looks but no use." When she got to the end, she was so agitated that her voice got a lot louder. Mommy Lin heartachingly stroked her daughter's head and guided it to rest in her embrace. All of a sudden, the atmosphere inside the car became extremely depressed and silent. Inside the hospital, Shen Yao was chopping up an apple as she asked Su Cheng in curiosity, "You knew Chuxu for a long time now?" Su Cheng nodded. "Since childhood." Shen Yao and Ran Jing clearly paused for a second, especially Shen Yao. She gossiply looked towards Su Cheng and asked, "You never fell for her?" "Of course I did." Su Cheng was very straightforward. "But do you think I deserve her?" Ran Jing patted her chest and let out a big sigh of relief. "Holy crap, you scared me. I was scared that you weren't boasting when you told me she was your wife. Holy crap, I was so close to streaming myself eating poop." Yo, why didn't you tell me since the beginning that you knew Chugsu? Su Cheng didn't know whether he should cry or laugh. Are you that unconfident in yourself? Shen Yao glanced at Su Cheng, and then she changed the topic. Hey, I mean, just an if. If a beautiful girl with money and status gave you a chance to court her, would you take it? Su Cheng was speechless. Here you go again? I don't need another guy to challenge me to a battle, stop trying to provoke me. Isn't that girl you? Shen Yao pouted, feeling defeated. She glared at Su Cheng. Hey, do you know how to make conversation? You deserve to be single. After chopping up the apple, she went to the washroom to wash the knife. Ran Jing looked at Su Cheng from the corner of her eyes and asked, You are really not related to Lin Chugsu in any way? Su Cheng sighed. How should I put it? Let's say you were adopted by a family since you were young, and they treat you just like one of their own kids, giving you the best food, accommodation, paying for you to go to school, but you've never done anything for them in return. And then, this family wants to let their most treasured and prettiest daughter marry you. Can you accept it? Ran Jing thought for a second, then she nodded and said, If it was me, then maybe not. It's already like winning a lottery if an orphan could find a foster family as nice as that, and one needs to be content with what he or she has. If they want me to marry their daughter, then to be frank, I wouldn't be able to overcome that mental obstacle. It makes me feel like I'm a brat that's just getting everything spoon-fed to me, and other people will have that opinion of me. Su Cheng nodded. Tired, he said, so some feelings happened at the wrong time, and it's destined to be difficult to get anywhere with those feelings, right? That was why Su Cheng thought he didn't deserve Lin Chugsu. Only when he was powerful enough and proved himself could he be able to face his feelings for her. Ran Jing sorta got it, but sorta didn't, but she felt Su Cheng and Lin Chugsu must have a story. When Shen Yao came out, she pretended to hang up the phone and complained, Holy crap, these guys, always harassing me. Ran Jing asked, Who? A bunch of heirs that only know how to whine. I already told them that I like the sense of security, a reliable man that can also fight, but these guys just don't understand me and keep on asking me out. Shen Yao dry coughed, deliberately saying out loud her mate selection criteria in front of Su Cheng. Who knew that Su Cheng would just pick up a fruit and chew on it while advising her, then you can go visit some gyms, maybe you can meet a few guys that look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Shen Yao immediately rolled her eyes at him. This idiot.